Ballot measures, or the people's tool as we like to say at BISC, were born nearly 120 years ago during the Progressive Era as a way for the people to take back their democracy from the overreach and influence of corporations and special interests. But the people's tool was born into structures designed to uphold white supremacy and systemic racism. In an effort to further disenfranchise Black voters, legislators fought against the use of ballot measure process in states with the most densely populated Black voters in the East and the South, a legacy we must still fight today. In the late 1970s, conservatives began using ballot measures to undermine workers' rights, environmental protections, LGBTQ rights, women's health, and more. After decades of losing on progressive issues that shifted narrative and culture in the United States, the progressive movement had enough. Enter the Ballot Initiative Strategy Center, which was created 20 years ago to advance a national progressive strategy for ballot measures and ensure this remain a people-powered tool for democracy. Flash forward to 2010, when 17 state legislatures were lost to conservative control. For many states, especially for grassroots leaders, ballot measures became virtually the only tool they had to create change for their communities. In 2013, BISC gathered state and national partners and funders to strategize, collaborate, and devise a new strategy. By 2014, we created BISC Roadmap to 2020, an effort to build a multi-year, multi-state proactive ballot measure strategy rooted in building state-based, people-centered power. We've now seen dozens of progressive victories at the ballot, even in really conservative states, starting in 2016, when 4 states raised the minimum wage in Arizona, Colorado, Maine, and Washington. In 2018, we started to see the efforts to build a more inclusive democracy through ballot measures. That same year, 5 of the ballot measures to create a more fair redistricting process also passed. In 2018, we started to see the first wave of racial justice measures start to take flight, with Louisiana's Amendment 2, which did away with the Jim Crow era law that allowed people to be convicted of felonies without unanimous juries. I-940 in Washington, which modified laws regulating the use of deadly force by police, and the abolition of slavery as a form of punishment passed in Colorado. We didn't stop. The strategy was working, and BISC and our partners had our eyes set on 2020. Colorado became the first state to pass a statewide paid family and medical leave ballot measure. After years of organizing, Arizona increased school funding. Floridians passed the minimum wage to $15 per hour. Californians restored voting rights to people on parole. Utah and Nebraska joined Colorado in abolishing slavery as a form of punishment. And in the middle of a racial reckoning, 19 of the 20 local police accountability measures passed. We are continuing to tap into the resilience and brilliance of our movement. In response to the slew of progressive victories over the last several years, conservatives have ramped up their attacks to direct democracy. Join us in the fight for liberation and protect the people's tool to build a multiracial, multi-ethnic democracy. Adelante.